You got to show the pod.
Yeah, I'll show the pod.
You have to show the pod.
It's not actually my water bottle. You're not going to believe me.
You're lying. Go on then, tell the cover story.
So basically, my bottle says Daddy on it.
I've just spotted this, by the way, right before we started. I was saying a sentence and I stopped and I was like, wait, does that...
You thought it said Diddy?
Yeah, I thought it said Diddy, but, I mean, Daddy isn't much better. Bro's got a water bottle that says Daddy on it.
I think Diddy would be worse. Nowadays, anyway.
Yeah, that is true.
It's actually not mine. Believe it or not, I'm not actually a dad.
Yeah.
So the story is...
You don't have to be a dad for someone to call you daddy, though.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it said Daddy until yesterday.
Yeah.
So I was taking this to work, I was taking it to the gym,
Yeah.
I was drinking out of it, not knowing it said Daddy on it. And it turns out, Harry got this from the gym.
Yeah.
He found it in the gym, took it home,
Yeah.
and then realised it said Daddy on it. And then somehow I've ended up with it.
That's some cover story, man. Oh, it's a nice bottle.
What a start of the podcast.
Yeah.
This is why we always have monsters.
Yeah, I know. It's 5 o'clock in the evening, and I've opted for water because I think doing a podcast about fitness and health, and then having a monster at 5 o'clock in the evening would be slightly contradictory.
We would have had to lie.
Yeah, we would have done. We would have done, definitely. Although I've sat here at like, what time was it? Like 7 o'clock in the morning with a monster like a nitty, like just sipping away at it. But
that's not as bad.
That's not as bad. Yeah,
it's quite bad though.
What?
Getting up first thing straight away, monster.
Yeah, necking a monster.
Said you drink first thing in the morning. I never thought I'd be that kind of person, but I am that person.
Yeah, definitely. It's just the caffeine though, isn't it? Like, I mean...
It's not the caffeine. If they made a caffeine-free monster, I guarantee I'd still have it.
No, but you have it in the morning because it's caffeinated.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that is such an idea.
What?
Caffeine-free monster for the evenings.
Would you indulge in that? Why would you just not have like a regular like diet drink?
Because it's a monster.
Yeah, I suppose it is quite nice, but then you can get some really nice like. Have you ever tried Fanta Light, Brev?
The Fanta Lights are nice.
Yeah, it's nice.
I still think Monster's better. There's something that's really fresh about a Monster. Crisp.
You're so addicted.
Bro
loves Monsters.
Yeah. Run out. I've been buying them from the co-op, getting scammed.
Mum messaged me and she was like, "Oh, I'm loving it. I'm really enjoying like listening to the pods," because she asked a question, and then the second message was, "You boys really you drink a lot of those Monsters, don't you?"
Yeah. Every single thumbnail is a monster.
A monster.
Or Charlie.
Yeah.
One or the other.
And that's how we pull in our viewers.
We should be getting Charlie back, hopefully.
Yeah. Yes.
After I'm back from Tunisia.
The teddy bear.
Yeah, can't wait.
Oh, I love it.
It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But yeah, this episode shows that we are committed to the podcast because I almost threw in the towel multiple times today.
Almost.
I almost messaged Lawrence. I did message Lawrence yesterday saying, we'll leave it this week.
I reeled him back in.
Yeah.
I did say we could do a Zoom version. And then you were
I don't think Zoom's the same.
No, it's not the same, but it would have been a compromise. It would have been better than doing nothing.
Do you know why I didn't want to do a Zoom version?
Why?
Because my OCD wouldn't like the fact that all our thumbnails are in this room and then it would go to on Zoom.
That's the only reason?
Yeah.
Why not just use a different screenshot from like the week prior?
We'd be wearing the same clothes.
Yeah, and? That would still satisfy...
People wouldn't notice.
They wouldn't notice. They definitely wouldn't notice. 100%.
That's right.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, that's the only reason.
Yeah,
we are here. Because I am absolutely battered after today.
Oh, mate, this could be the world's worst podcast.
Yeah, I was saying to Lawrence on the way here that you're going to have to carry this podcast hard because I'm going to be non-verbal throughout the whole of this.
You normally, like, lead quite well, though. Like, when
you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. You don't realise it, but you take quite a... I don't know what am I trying to say. Like, you take quite a role in like kind of directing where the podcast is going to go. So, if you could continue to do that for me, that'd be great.
That's your turn today, mate. I've had a long day.
Oh, mate, tell us about it. What you been up to?
I mean, nothing exciting.
Yeah.
But it's just been like my days are very long right now.
Yeah.
6 a.m. to 8 p.m. every day, pretty much.
Yeah.
I've just had a call with Chris, which was really good.
Yeah. How's he looking?
Incredible.
Yeah.
I told him it on the call. It's always hard. I find it hard complimenting people face to face, but yeah, he's looking really good. I can't wait to do his transformation post because right now he's the same weight as he was at the end of his recovery diet after his last prep, and the difference in composition is actually ridiculous.
Mental.
So yeah, we've locked in prep for next year.
Do you
spoke about that?
Sorry, just a little side point. Do you think you know when you say that you struggle to compliment people, is it because you don't want to over compliment people, or do you genuinely just like, is it just something that you struggle with?
No, I'm just socially awkward.
Right, okay, yeah, fair enough.
I can compliment them in a check-in.
Yeah. But like
not
when
face
you're doing
to
face, yeah, fair enough.
I can't take compliments face to face either.
Really?
Not really, no.
Oh, mad.
Yeah.
Mad. That's crazy.
I've got pretty bad social anxiety.
Yeah. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
You're looking really good today.
But yeah, what were we saying?
Chris, same weight.
Yeah, he looks really good. Very excited for his prep next year.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Spoke a bit about his next split as well. Spoke to Leo about his next split as well this week.
Oh, nice.
So lots of plans for the future going in with clients. Something that I have done over the last couple of months with clients, do much more regular Zoom calls with them.
Yeah.
So it's only something I've implemented like very recently, like this year, 2025.
Yeah.
Monthly Zoom calls. I say monthly, but clients sometimes don't book in monthly because you don't really need a call every month.
Life gets annoyed, doesn't it? Yeah, hang on a minute.
Zoom calls.
Where's my monthly call?
We speak every week. What we're going to speak about on a call.
We'll do the podcast and then we'll get it going, mate.
Yeah,
I'll sit down here and then you set up in the office.
We have a business meeting.
Yeah, we do.
The business meetings are good, to be fair.
We do.
We had our first business meeting last week and that went well.
Yeah, I think I'm at the point in my like physique journey where like we don't need to discuss it monthly. Like I know exactly what I need to do.
We've had a call.
Yeah, we have. We have just like about 4 or 5 months ago, I think.
Yeah, we had a call about.
Wasn't it the start of the gaining phase or like midway?
No, we had one about your nutrition plan and your training plan.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah. Sorry,
Yeah.
Sorry, mate. I'm undermining your service.
Yeah.
Nah, I'm not. I think the reason that we don't do regular calls is like we literally just don't need it.
No,
like
we're checking every week and see each other every week. So.
Yeah, 100%. But I can see how you doing it with other clients like monthly might be beneficial.
Especially lifestyle clients as well.
Yeah.
When it's a little bit harder to like uncover what they're really struggling with.
Yeah.
On a call, you can do that a lot easier than on a check-in.
Definitely. And like you mentioned as well, like I think because we see each other weekly, if there's anything that I need to bring up with you, I just tell you in person. Yeah, exactly. But I think some people, like Chris, for example, who lives down south, you literally never really see him in person. I think having that like face-to-face conversation with him is probably definitely really beneficial. And also, Chris is a legend. If he was my client,
we got a good story about Chris, don't we?
You are.
When he came to train with us on prep.
Yeah.
Chris won't know this story.
Yeah.
Because he would have not thought anything of it. But basically, Chris was he 3 weeks out? I'm pretty sure he was 3 weeks out when he came to train with us.
Yeah.
So he was pretty battered. And in the session, he dropped a 20 kilo plate on his toe. And then after that moment, in Chris's head, he thought he was being rude to us. And if you haven't met Chris before, he is the nicest man you will ever meet.
Yeah.
Like, there's no one nicer.
No.
In every sense of the word.
Such a lovely guy, yeah.
And in his head, he was being really rude to us for the rest of the session. And at the end, did he message me after apologising for being rude?
Yeah, he messaged you after and he was like, "Oh, Ryan, mate, I'm really, really sorry about how I conducted myself after." And me and Ryan just looked at each other like, "What?" Like he was like the nicest guy throughout the whole session.
Oh, we left the session going, "Oh, what a guy!
Yeah, what a legend!" Yeah.
Chris was like, "I'm such a prick."
Yeah. Props to him though for conducting himself that well. So I remember he'd been in prep for ages, hadn't he?
So he signed up with me at 6 weeks out.
Yeah, like a while. So he must have been feeling pretty rough. So yeah, don't worry, Chris. We didn't think that.
It'll be drastically different next time around. I'm very looking forward to it because we're going to set it up so perfectly.
Yeah.
Like this diet has worked so well as a pre-prep. Going to keep them pretty lean all the way up until the start of next year and then start prep from there.
Hey, look, that's the benefit of sticking around with a coach for a long period of time. It's like you see a lot of people in this industry coach hop. and they just go from coach to coach to coach. Like they'll do a prep, then swap, they'll do a prep, or they'll do a diet, you know, and they'll go through like 10 coaches, and it's like you're not giving that coach the opportunity to learn how your body works. Like I'm so confident that next time I prep, like the prep is going to be so much better just because you know exactly what's like coming.
It is literally every time you do a diet with a client,
it
goes smoother every single time.
100%.
You've seen what's happened before, and you use that data to make decisions going forward as well.
Yeah, not just with how their body responds, but also like psychologically how they manage like phases as well. You know what to say to someone in specific scenarios where you've struggled previously. So it's like,
I think as well, people who are coach hopping need to look internally. There's a reason why they're switching coaches so much.
Yeah, 100%.
There's something going wrong within themselves.
That's
leading to them doing that
within their own process. And let's be honest, ultimately, like I know certain coaches will be offering like better services just based on like them being a better coach. But when it really boils down to it, the majority of coaches are selling the same thing.
Yeah, it literally comes down to how much the coach cares.
Exactly.
It's as simple as that. A lot of coaches have a very similar amount of knowledge, very similar amount of experience.
Yeah.
It really comes down to how much care they have in your process.
Yeah.
How much passion they have about your process.
Yeah, definitely. But what I'm saying is like we're pretty much all selling the same thing. But it's like if you stick with a coach longer, that process is only going to get better with that individual, you know, as long as they really care about your journey, which any good coach should, you know, I think.
And that's not to say as well at the same time, like, you should stick with a coach even when you make mistakes. Yeah. Like, we happily admit that we made mistakes on your first prep.
Yeah, definitely.
Started too soft. Like you, for example.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Eating meals in the night.
Me for example. Yeah, in prep I was doing some very stupid things.
Giving yourself water poisoning.
Yeah, shall I tell you?
We've not spoken about any of this on the podcast.
That's insane. Yeah. Okay. We'll get it. That's a good topic to get into. Yeah, 100%. So, yeah, I haven't really spoken about this much because for a while I found it quite embarrassing, but yeah, there was definitely a few things that I did which were really fucking stupid in my prep that obviously I'm gonna not do next time because it's gonna make things so much easier. And looking back on it, I just think like, why was I doing that? First thing was, for anyone who hasn't prepped, essentially you start to wake up earlier and earlier in the morning. But it got to the point with me where I'd be waking up at like 3:30 in the morning, and I'd be like, right, well, I may as well just have my first meal then. I may as well just eat. But that didn't make sense because, like, obviously then that meant that my last meal was like ridiculously early in the day, and then I go to bed hungry, and that was probably really like exactly. I think my circadian rhythm adapted to that pattern, and then
you got in the mindset where you couldn't get back to sleep unless you had a meal.
Yeah. Well, it probably wasn't a mindset. It was probably my circadian rhythm. Yeah. It was probably my body waking me up to say, okay, like this is the time that he's eating. Let's wake him up. You know, which silly, really
things so much harder.
Yeah, really stupid, and also just not fun as well because I was waking up at like 3:30. I was eating a meal, then I was either going back to sleep if I could. But then if not, I was literally starting my day. I remember getting the bus over to Ultraflex when I was training at literally 4:30 in the morning, and then going to train, and it was just mental. Like,
was it even open at that time?
There were some days where like I get to Rotherham, and it was like 5:30, and I just have to do steps around town, and then I go and train. Yeah, it's just mad, mental to think about it now. Another thing I did, which was really dumb, I went through cycles of like different things to try and cope with like the prep basically. It started with Monsters, then it was like Diet Coke, and then it was Vimto.
That was the worst.
This was the worst one, not because of Vimto. Like Vimto is actually really nice, but I can't drink it now, to be honest. But basically, you put Vimto in water to like dilute it, basically, and the sweet kick I was getting from it was insane. I was like, this is so fucking nice. So I just completely lost track of like how much water I was having because I was just constantly putting Vimto in, and then there was one day where I was like, oh shit, like, let's just like see how much water I'd had in one day, and it was something dumb, like 12 liters or something.
No, it was
like,
more.
Was it more?
There
Was
was
it
days
like
when you were having 15 liters of water.
that is so stupid. Because I started to get like mild, like I can't even remember what the symptoms were now, but I started to get like mild symptoms of water poisoning, and then I told Ryan, and then.
Mate.
Oh my god, I'm so lucky. But like, yeah, that is. To be fair, I think when you are in prep, that can actually, you can really easily fall into that trap because
Fighting it.
yeah, fighting it. But also like the thing with water is like people tell you in diets like, oh, drink more water to feel satiated. But you can definitely, I mean, I literally did. You can go completely overboard with it, especially if you mix something sweet in there like Vimto or cordial or something like that. So yeah, don't do that because that is stupid. And I was very lucky to realise it when I did. But
The bent over rows.
the bent over rows. Oh my god, yeah. You know what Jermaine calls this? Jermaine calls this like Rocky mentality. Like, you know, I'm assuming you've seen like some of the Rocky films where he just keeps on getting beat down, but he won't like, he's stubborn. He won't admit that like what he's like, you know, he won't admit defeat. But
yeah, that was the thing. You wouldn't admit it.
yeah, exactly. It was the stubbornness. So I think because I think it was more of like an emotional attachment to like keeping bad tissue round, because I think going into that prep, my back was still a weak point. So I was really like, I was very emotionally attached to like trying to keep around as much back tissue as I could, or maybe even like build some. I remember there was a stage in prep where it did start to look like better, but I think that was more just because I was losing body fat and not growing. But yeah, no, I had I was doing one session at my work, and it had very limited kit. So at the start I was doing a bent over row, but to call it a bent over row was it wasn't a bent over row. It was like a hip hinge, shrug, upright row. Yeah, all in one.
Yeah,
all in one.
I was like, I literally said in the form, people like, what are you doing?
Oh, we need to overlay a clip of me doing it, because I'm sure I've got it somewhere. But it was, I used to get a voice note from Ryan like every week saying like, mate, please strip down the weight a little bit and just use your back.
One time you literally went to me, look at AJ's rows. He doesn't like this. Now I sent you AJ's rows, and you're like, oh yeah, he doesn't do them like that.
Oh, it's so funny, honestly. But I was at that point in prep where like my brain was just scrambled.
Yeah.
Like it was so scrambled, and I just like I was lucky that I my back actually looked half decent still, you know. But yeah, no, it's just you live and you learn.
That's what excites me so much about your next prep.
Yeah,
the fact that so many things went wrong, and he still looked pretty wicked at the end.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, no, we can do, and the fact you went into it with a dislocated knee.
Yeah.
It was like everything was against you. I think realistically, if you weren't in your last year of juniors, we would have pushed it back.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. We weren't. I don't know. I think it's one of those things, isn't it? There's never a perfect time to prep, but looking back, like there was definitely. I think also I'm a lot more like emotionally mature now. Like if you said that the same things that you said to me now, I would genuinely listen. You know, I think it was an interesting prep. But yeah, you're right. It just goes to show like, if I can still, like, I was in condition as well. I think the majority of people that kind of have shit preps, you see them not really get in stage condition, but I got pretty fucking...
Yeah, your mental resilience was really good.
Yeah.
Considering like how fucked you were throughout the whole prep and how many like setbacks you had.
Yeah.
The fact that you got into stage condition.
Yeah. I think that was the only dictating factor as to why I got into stage condition, because I've always been very mentally resilient and stubborn as well.
Like, it's not like these meals in the night were extra meals.
Yeah, exactly.
If anything, they were making everything so much harder.
Yeah.
You were having your calories. You're still sticking to your calories, sticking to your meals.
Yeah. Well, my...
You're doing the opposite of intermittent fasting. Fasting during the day, eating during the night.
Oh God, Jesus. But like my mentality was it. I think that's the problem because my mentality with it was just like, oh, I'll just be hungry in the evening and
Yeah.
it's not a big deal, you know. But it's like, yeah, no. I think that's a lesson. Like you can manage your prep like as much as well as you like, but if you're not, you need to have some grit and some mental resilience. Well, you need a lot of grit and mental resilience, but I would nurture that first instead of kind of trying to formulate like the perfect prep. But having the perfect prep is also
Yeah,
important.
definitely.
Hopefully, next time round we can merge the
Yeah.
two together.
I think it's gonna be drastically different.
And then I'll be a world champion.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Easy as that.
Yeah. It's mad how we've never actually spoken about that on the
Yeah.
pod. To be
I
fair.
just realised like there's so many good stories from that prep.
Yeah.
Well, not good
Yeah.
stories for you, but like funny stories. 'Cause I got none from my prep.
Have you not? Have you not got any?
Not really.
Yeah. To be fair, I think it's probably because your prep was just
Smooth.
smooth. Yeah, it was smooth sailing, wasn't it? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. Did you not? Did you never? Did you not just have like an awful day? Because I can straight away tell you the worst day that I had on prep.
What was it?
It was the day that we were at yours for Leo's show.
Oh yeah, you were a zombie.
I was
That's another story.
fucked. Oh my God, I was so fucked. So
So for Leo's and Lawrence's shows, what we've done is stay. So at my house back in Leicester, or where I used to live, we basically have a granny annex in the garden.
oh
and,
no.
And we used that as like the camp for preps.
Please don't make me tell this story. I know Leo's going to be pissing himself right now.
Yeah.
Go on, carry on.
So you'd already competed at this point,
Yeah.
and it was Leo's first show day.
Yeah.
And that day, the day of Leo's show, was it the day before Leo's show?
The day
you
before.
were an absolute zombie. My mum came up to me multiple times like, is Lawrence okay? You were just like doing laps in the garden with your hood up.
Yeah, so basically, I think the problem was I'd just really fucked my meals that day. So, me and Leo headed down, and I was training that day as well. So I went to, what's the gym really local to you? I can't remember.
I don't know what it's called, but I know what you mean.
Yeah, I went to a gym that was like 15, 20 minutes walk down the road, which felt a lot longer than 20 minutes. But yeah, basically I had my pre-workout way too soon. I had it like, I started eating it like on the drive down, and then we got to yours like an hour later, which is really when you should meant to be like training. And then I spent a little bit of time at yours. Then I walked over to that gym. I've never felt so shit in my life. I can remember like that gym like purely just because of how I felt. I remember I had dumbbell RDLs in as well, and I literally had to ask someone to like pick them up, prop them up on the bench because I tried to lift it but I couldn't.
Really?
Yeah. You know when like. You know when you feel so weak that you lift something, it just doesn't, like, you just can't, you physically cannot move it. I was like I'm literally trying to move it, but I can't. So I had to get someone to put them up on the bench so I could do my set. And then it was a really weird setup. Like there was this dog like walking around in the, like it was like a fever dream. It was really weird. There was this dog like who looked quite like aggressive as well, that was just walking around the dumbbell area. And I was like, fucking hell, I don't want to like drop a dumbbell on this poor dog. And it started like walking near me as I was doing my set. So I was like,
start growling at it.
No, I'm not joking, mate. I'm not joking. Yeah, no, honestly, it was, oh God, it was such a terrible day. And then I got back, had a meal, but then I still had like 3 or 4K steps to box off. And Ryan's garden is like really big, and it's got like a pond on like the
far side.
Yeah, the far side. And I like this is a prep thing, but it was cold, and I obviously I was really lean, so I was freezing. Put my hood up, and I just started doing laps around Ryan's garden. And no wonder your mum came up to you and said, "Is Lawrence okay?" Because honestly, I was mashed. I was actually in the bin. That was such a horrendous day for me. And then I remember your sister was having a party, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And it was like, I had the window open, but I just couldn't get sleep because, like, this party was going on. Wasn't there a fight as well?
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And me and HL had to go out and sort it.
You and Big HL, yeah. Oh man, yeah.
Good memories,
Horrendous, yeah. Good memories looking back,
Yeah.
but at the time I was so fucked. I was actually like horrendously battered. I felt okay the next day. Like I got through the day. I was still pretty mashed, but yeah, no.
Good times, man.
Good times.
Okay, that's a good place to end the first section.
Yeah, definitely.
Go on to questions.
Yeah, let's fire
we'll
some
quick
out.
fire these questions.
Yeah. So
I forgot to put a box up. So
yeah. So Ellie has asked 6 questions.
Nice. Next time, I'm going to put a question box up the day before.
Yeah.
I still haven't done it. We're 7 episodes in.
Yeah.
And every single time I've done it on the day, and today I didn't even do one.
Oh, decent. Well, you still managed to get questions. So if you put it up a day before, we'll get loads. We could even do it a couple of days before.
And we should do an anonymous one as well.
Yeah, that's true.
Because people don't ask questions.
Yeah, that's true. And then we'll just get people roasting us.
That'd be nice.
Yeah.
We'll bring back a hate comment of the week.
Oh yes, that was a good segment. And then you can sing a song as well. Yeah. Awesome. Right, okay. I've actually not read these questions either, so I really hope none of them are like rude or
I hope none of them require any sort of knowledge. Because my brain is not in the mood for dropping Riz today.
Dropping insane physique
Link in bio Riz.
Right, let's kick it off. Okay, so first question is, house deal with a girlfriend who doesn't want to cuddle in the morning? Oh my god. No. Basically, Ellie had a massive paddy in the morning. Well, no, actually, I had a massive paddy in the morning because I was cuddling Ellie, and then all of a sudden she just like she thrashed off me and started like walked into the living room. I was like, what have I done? Apparently, last night I do weird shit in my sleep. Apparently, my eyes were open. I was waking her up. I was finding it funny, like as in like I was literally like taking the piss in my sleep, like, are you awake? Like that kind of thing. And then I just rolled over. Apparently I did that like 3 or 4 times. And she thought I was awake. I do weird shit in my sleep.
What was that other story about?
Oh man, yeah. So that was basically in the middle of the night, I do weird shit in my sleep. Like I sleep talk, I do this like yeah. So basically, Ellie had a pillow under her head, and I ripped the pillow from under her head, and then she I laughed apparently, and Ellie looked over to me, and she was like, "What the fuck? Why did you do that?" And in my sleep, I have no recollection of this. I literally went, "'Cause I'm a beast." And then I just went to sleep. Like, what the fuck? How am I hearing what she's saying though? Like, how am I actually able to?
That is mental.
It's insane. Like,
maybe you're in like a half sleep, half awake state, but you can't remember it.
Yeah, it's insane because I don't remember any of like the stuff that happens. It's so.
You need to get a camera in your room.
Yeah, we do. 'Cause, oh man, I've had those sleep apps before where it like records what you're saying, and it like. The majority of it is just like gibberish. Yeah, I'm fine. Yeah, I fart a lot in my sleep.
All right, next question.
The next question is, why does my boyfriend do weird things in my sleep? These aren't good questions, Ali. Come on.
Only real questions, Ali. Come on.
Here's a good one. Okay, tips for managing travel while staying on plan.
This literally comes down to planning ahead.
Yeah.
You can only manage what you control.
Oh mate, you're battered,
I told you,
I'm
just battered.
Oh yeah, I
can't drop any Riz today.
Yeah, I would agree. Honestly, like it just comes down to planning. Like it also just comes down to like your goals as well. So I think for the majority of lifestyle clients, if you're going away on holiday.
Oh yeah, on a holiday.
Yeah, I wouldn't say that you need to like plan ahead or prep anything, but I don't know, say if you're traveling, even like I don't know, like say if you're traveling for like a weekend getaway, like even if you're a lifestyle client, like just enjoy yourself.
Just
like,
make sensible decisions.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah, exactly. Like manage it as best you can, but I wouldn't stress about the minutiae.
No, and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
It's 2 days.
Yeah, exactly. And if you're a bodybuilding client and you really want to stay on plan, yeah, like you said, it's literally just about planning ahead and yeah, just say prepping meals in advance, like going for a food shop before.
That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Making sure you have your meals prepped in advance.
Yeah.
I never do that on a show day, and it ruins me every time.
Yeah.
If I get to like 1 p.m, I've had like...
one meal.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Get a cool bag as well. So, say for example, if you're prepping like rice or like any kind of meat, you kind of want to keep that refrigerated. So having a cool bag and a couple of ice packs would definitely help with that. But yeah, I think that.
And don't give yourself the excuse because you're busy on the day or because you're on the move on a day.
Yeah.
That's a reason to not nail things.
Yeah, definitely.
If you want to nail things, you can nail things.
Yeah, 100%. It literally just comes down to like what you want to achieve out of physique development, you know. But I think for the vast majority of people, don't stress about it.
Yeah.
Are gut-friendly options, sourdough and kimchi, actually beneficial to physique development? Hey, Lippy's waving at us. Should we pause it or?
That's right.
No, okay.
I'll shut the door.
So, sourdough and kimchi. Ellie's talking about that because I eat sourdough pretty regularly, and then Ellie has just bought some kimchi.
So good.
I tried it yesterday for the first time, and it's very sriracha-y. And I'm like, I'm not massive on sriracha. I like it, but I'm not mad on it. You know.
I think it'd be really nice with your avocado and rice meal.
Yeah, probably. I'll try some tonight with my rice meal and get back to you. But yeah, I think they are beneficial to physique development because sourdough and kimchi are meant to be really good for your gut, and obviously your gut health has a massive effect on your ability to digest and uptake nutrients. So, which yeah has a massive effect on physique development. So I would say yeah. I mean.
I wouldn't even say just for physique development either. I think for general health.
General health, yeah.
Improving your digestion and gut health is extremely important.
Yeah. What I will say is, though, that is very, like, 1 percentile benefit. Like, you're not... If you start eating sourdough and kimchi, you're not all of a sudden going to grow, like... Yeah. To be fair, I had that effect. I started eating sourdough and I was like, fucking hell. My biceps have grown a couple of inches. That's insane.
When you make the switch from bagel to sourdough,
your
physique levels up.
You become like a real
and you become a better person as well because you're only eating whole foods.
Yeah.
And then you can like look down on people.
Yeah, and then you can boast about it as well. Like you can literally go to like your work colleagues or your friends like.
How many ingredients are in that?
Did you?
Do you know how many ingredients are in that?
Yeah, the fucking white bagel. Oh my god.
Could never be me.
Nah. No. I eat sourdough.
Yeah.
Do you know how good that is for your gut health?
This podcast.
I know. Oh, it's good, mate.
It is good, actually.
Yeah.
But this might be the best podcast we've done.
Maybe. Yeah, maybe. And we thought it was going to be the worst.
Yeah.
Right. We've got a couple more. So, do you have to stop socialising to be able to diet? No.
Not at all.
Definitely
And this is something I try and teach Ellie in every single check-in.
Yeah.
Because Ellie is someone who obviously is in and around the bodybuilding community a lot because of you.
Yeah.
And because of the fact she trained at Ultraflex.
Yeah.
And she sometimes forgets the fact that she isn't a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
So, like, every time it comes down to, like, a social occasion, she'll get quite stressed about it.
Yeah.
Because she'll think she's going off plan and it's going to ruin her progress, etc.
Yeah.
But realistically, when you're a lifestyle client, as I mentioned before, just enjoy it. Make sure that you focus on what it's actually important for. And this is a massive thing. Your mindset towards social occasion is massive.
Yeah.
The social occasion isn't for eating. It isn't for drinking.
Definitely.
The social occasion is for spending time with other people, socialising. So don't make it about the food. Don't make it about the drink.
Yeah.
And therefore, you're much less likely to go overboard with the food or drink.
Yeah. I think the problem is this country and this culture.
Yeah.
Like Western culture has such a link with like alcohol and socializing. I think a lot of people without alcohol feel a bit awkward in social situations. Me included. Well, I used to feel awkward without alcohol in social situations, but I think if you're into fitness and physique development, like you don't need to go to that to socialize, or you don't even need to eat. I think I think sometimes it is difficult kind of navigating around what people think as well in those situations, because people judge if you don't drink, definitely. But what I've actually found is people also judge if you don't eat. Yeah, like say you're dieting, and if you're not eating.
Not even not eating though. If you're like making a more healthy decision or a more conscious decision, you get judged for it as well.
Which is bad. Like it is really bad, but it is within this like culture. It's like Western culture to like, I don't know, to like even like if you're really into fitness, like to a lot of people who just aren't even interested in it, they think you're a bit of a bellend, don't they? They'll be like, oh, fitness wanker, you know, like not eating like everyone else.
Yeah.
Like you can get judged for it. So I think there needs to be an element of like not really giving a shit what people think, and I've had to learn that, especially with drinking. You know, like I've got to the point now where, like, if I'm out for a social occasion, I don't like I know what my goals are, and I don't really care what other people think of me about what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like I'm just there to speak to people and have a good time.
But also at the same time, like unless you're on a prep, the vast majority of times you can still actually enjoy the food, enjoy the drinks, etc.
Yeah.
It's just about
managing it
as effectively as possible.
Yeah, definitely. 100%.
If you really break it down, like there's not many occasions you can't manage.
No.
Unless your food is super, super low.
Yeah.
And it's like quite a big social occasion where you can't track things as accurately.
Yeah.
There's hardly any that you can't manage well.
No, of course not. And
even if you don't manage it well, say you don't, it's one day.
Yeah.
Get back on plan the next day.
Yeah, literally, 100%. And it's like, it's really difficult to, unless you binge, it's really difficult to like completely undo all the hard work that you've done in like a diet.
Yeah.
Say you lost 20 pounds and then you go over your baseline food by a little bit. Like what is it? You have to be in like
3,500 calories.
3,500 calories for like a 1 pound fat gain. It's like
surplus as well. So for the vast majority of people, that would be over 5,000. Well, pretty much for everyone, it'll be over 5,000 calories.
Exactly. And so it's pretty difficult to fuck up. Yeah, sweet.
Yeah, stop worrying about Ellie. I've got to tell you every week.
She doesn't listen to me either, mate. It's fine. And last one, shock horrors from Ellie. Oh my god,
We've got so many fans.
So it's almost like I asked her to do this. Can bodybuilding work alongside a full-time job? I'm going to say yes.
Definitely.
Again, it's just about like planning and preparation and having a routine around that job. It's more difficult, definitely, but can you do it? 100%.
I honestly think it can work better sometimes.
Yeah, true.
Because of the structure that a full-time job gives you, a 9 to 5 gives you.
Yeah.
That can make it like extremely straightforward to fit bodybuilding around.
Definitely.
Because you can only train at one time in the day, you have to do it.
Yeah.
You've got to be at work at a certain time, and therefore if you don't train at that time, you fucked it.
Yeah. And you have to prep meals at a certain time.
It holds you accountable.
Yeah, definitely. And it creates a solid routine and structure which can also complement like your sleep routine. Like me, for example, I need to, well, I guess you as well, but if you've got to be at a place at a certain time, you know, you can prep your food, go to work, then go to the gym, and then go to bed. Like you've got, like there's no guesswork almost. Like it's set in stone. That's what you're doing. So yeah, you're right. Actually, that's a good point. It can complement it, and I think a lot of people would use it as an excuse to not be as good of a bodybuilder. But it's cool that you've kind of flipped it on its head and said no, it can make it better.
Yeah. Thank you for carrying me.
That's all right, mate.
Appreciate that.
I don't think I carried you too much, to be honest.
You carried me with the questions.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But
this is how I can't imagine, like, you know, coach, you do like 20 check-ins in a day.
Yeah.
I don't know how they're still functioning by the end of that.
Yeah, the 20 check-ins is mad.
My limit's like, if I start going over 10 in a day, I can tell that I'm not quite as sharp cognitively.
Yeah, 20 check-ins is mad. That's crazy.
But yeah, we'll leave it there, guys.
Yeah. So guys, thank you very much for watching. We thought that was going to be a bit of a shit podcast, but it actually turned up being.
I think it was good.
Yeah, I think it was decent. I was saying to Ryan, it's probably because we're both a bit battered, so we don't really give a shit as much.
Yeah.
You know, less nerves going into it. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Keep getting the questions in. Please get the questions in.
I'll put a box up next time.
Yeah, that would help.
That would help for getting questions.
Keep the views up. Keep liking the videos. Keep the views.
You did it again.
Mate, I've botched this outro. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week.
See you in a bit. Keep the views.
Keep the views up. Oh, God.